Hey guys, so I'll be traveling in Asia very soon, and before I go on any trip, especially an international one, I make sure that my travel wallet has the appropriate collection of credit cards such that I can maximize value on my spend. And so, having just done that, let's see what we got. Amex Platinum, a must-have for lounge access. World of Hyatt business card. I'll be staying at a Hyatt for a couple of days, and I still haven't used up the Hyatt statement credit on the card. Citi Double Cash, a solid 2x card. Wait, no. This one actually has foreign transaction fees. It's a no-go. But hey, I still want a good catch-all card to cover my non-category spend internationally, as well as a card with elevated multipliers on certain important categories, such as food. This brings us to what I think is the ultimate credit card duo for earning travel rewards when you're traveling internationally. We have the Capital One Venture X and the Citi Strata Premier. In this one, I'll be making a case for this powerful credit card duo given a specific criteria that I developed for international travel. I expect that you'll share in much of this criteria, and so if you end up finding this helpful, consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. No. This one actually has foreign transaction fees. It's a no-go. That pretty much gets the most obvious thing out of the way, but just to clarify, cards that come with foreign transaction fees typically charge a 3% fee on every purchase that you make outside of the US. It's just unnecessary to be incurring such fees as there are so many other credit cards that don't have them. This includes the Capital One Venture X and the Citi Strata Premier, so we're good here. Next, we have something that's probably not as obvious, but is arguably the most important. What is even the point of this thought exercise towards picking the best cards for your travels when you can't even use these cards on your travels? In the US, there are four main credit card payment networks: Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and Discover. The latter two are notorious for not being widely accepted internationally, especially from smaller businesses. Per my experience, the degree of acceptance can vary a lot depending on the country. For instance, earlier this year, I traveled to Paris, France, and Athens, Greece. I didn't explicitly keep score, but in Paris, I was probably 9 out of 10 with my American Express in spending across multiple places, and in Athens, I was maybe 1 out of 10? I'm thinking that for this Asia trip, I'm just going to spare myself the effort of having to potentially pull out another card from my wallet once my American Express gets turned away. The Venture X is a Visa, and the Strata Premier is a MasterCard, and so at wherever accepts credit cards, you're going to have a seamless experience purchasing with these cards. Sure like the sound of that, eh? Well, probably even more so when you're on vacation. Stay relaxed and get on with your activities as smoothly as possible. Let's keep this vacation goal in mind as we move on to talk about the multipliers. As always, we want to maximize the multipliers across different categories, but we also want to do so while minimizing the amount of thought and effort that you put into it. This is why I'm constraining the number of cards to be used for general spending to just 2, which I think is a suitable number for most people, especially if you're watching this video. I also want to target travel rewards, as unless I know that I'm not going on another international trip for a long time, I want to be able to plan ahead and get huge value on my next international travel, along with a touch of luxury. The Venture X earns Capital One miles, while the Strata Premier earns Citi thank you points. Both currencies can be transferred to airline and hotel partners, where they typically have higher value for travel. How you optimize the multipliers on the two cards is really quite simple. Use the Strata Premier on any of these categories: air travel, other hotel purchases, restaurants, supermarkets, gas stations, EV stations, earning you 3x thank you points, and use the Venture X everywhere else, earning you 2x Capital One miles. Note that 2x transferable points on non-category spend on a card that comes with no foreign transaction fees really comes down to just the Venture X and its mid-tier family member, the Venture. And then on the Strata Premier, the 3x on supermarkets, specifically supermarkets worldwide, is also another unique feature of this card duo. Another notable travel card that has an elevated 4x multiplier on supermarkets, being the Amex Gold, only offers it on US supermarkets. This Venture X and Strata Premier duo really has a great set of multipliers that are relatively easy to manage and are pretty free of restrictions, which is just perfect when you're traveling internationally. And finally, we need to touch on the benefits, specifically those on the Venture X, that will come in handy when you're traveling internationally. First off, statement credits for global entry, which hopefully you applied for before you go on the trip. Not only does global entry include TSA PreCheck, which allows you to fast track through airport security as you leave the US, but it also gives you access to an expedited line through customs as you come back to the US. You can literally save hours of your time if the usual lines are grossly long, and trust me, such lines do exist. Yes, you don't get the clear benefit with either the Venture X or the Strata Premier, but if fast tracking through the ID check as you leave the US is that important to you, then you might want to complement the core duo of the Venture X and the Strata Premier with an ancillary travel card that offers the clear benefit, such as the Amex Platinum. And if you do that, then hey, you also get a ton of lounge access. Though thankfully, the Venture X also provides a lot of the same lounge access, as well as access to Capital One lounges, which can come in very handy if you happen to be leaving or coming back to one of the airports that has a Capital One lounge. And finally, the Venture X has a suite of travel protections: travel accident insurance, trip cancellation interruption reimbursement, lost luggage reimbursement, trip delay reimbursement, which can save you a lot of money during your travels if one of the covered incidents occur. The Strata Premier also has travel protections, but they're not as good as what comes on the more premium Venture X. Of course, if you want these travel protections to be in effect when you travel, make sure to pay for your flights with the Venture X card and also familiarize yourself with the terms and conditions on those protections such that you don't get any surprises while you're making a claim. And there we have it. The Capital One Venture X and the Citi Strata Premier is my choice for a credit card duo when I'm traveling internationally, and I'll be sure to put it to great use when I'm in Asia. I'd love to hear if you guys have alternative preferences for your credit card setup when you travel internationally. Let me know below in the comments. But if you've taken a liking to my preferred duo and are wondering about your chances for getting approved for these two cards, well, I made videos on this very topic, which you'll see on screen. Thanks so much for watching this one, and here's your card nerd signing off. Peace.